So, I heard you guys like sheep.
Where did you hear that, and can I murder the guy who told you?
I'd like to convert them into wood and brick. I've got a road to build.
What's happening? Why are we dealing with sheep?
There's another quest giver that I'm trying to find, because there is one more sheep quest to do.
Of course there is.
And they wander off into the weirdest places, as I recall. Like, half the time they're behind the stores.
Yeah, there was one like that in the first time we did this.
And of course the chef still wants to talk, because of course he does.
No, we got his side quest a while ago. He wants to make the mystic meal or whatever bullshit. Yeah, anyway, here she is.
Ah, that's quite a wander.
Are you lost?
Gracious me, where did you come from?
Oh, this lady.
That jumpy? Maybe you shouldn't wander out here at night.
I'm not wandering. I'll have you know that I'm pursuing science. Important science. Yes, I'm always playing
Science?
for a reason.
Science?
I'm here to learn more about the
I mean, I'm told that we're pretty handy with science.
You're dedicated. That's great. But is it worth dying for? There are monsters out here.
Yes, I know. It is believed that
I gotta tell you a secret, lady. The breeding habits of sheep aren't gonna be of much use in the next 6 days.
But each time, a marauding monster has driven me away. I've been forced to make my observations from this distant spot, so as not to endanger the sheep by attracting more monsters. However, it is dangerous work.
That sounds
Why does she have Lightning's shoulder armor thing?
I have work to do.
A lot of people do.
Unless, that is,
Yeah.
you would...
I mean, I guess it's like just a generic Guardian Core thing, but you know, that was from 1,000 years ago. And also, she is not a soldier.
Well, you see,
But you're
it's
putting yourself in
retro.
Too much danger.
Maybe it's like people who, you
I
know,
have no choice.
wear
The whole of
WW2
society
coats
awaits my
despite not being
Why don't I
reenactors.
make the observations for you? I can keep the monsters away at the same time, and then let you know what I see. That sound good?
But, oh, dash it. Very
Dash
well.
it.
It is far from ideal.
That's a thing that humans say.
Monsters seem drawn to me like flies to a
It's
pile
like
of behemoth
they've
dung.
already thrown around far worse curse words than that.
Spend the night amongst
Like, damn has been said several times. We've had at least a couple
more
hells.
success than
A few snows here and there.
Best.
Man, we gotta watch that. We gotta watch that ESRB rating.
A report in Arius Village.
So yeah, this is our final task. We have to escort the sheep up to their breeding ground.
Oh, good. That's exactly what would have made sheep more interesting and relatable and bearable, is them being part of an escort quest.
It's not even an escort quest. Like, nothing about them is... it's a tag-along.
Which, you know, is a little point in its favour, but of course you don't know that when you're starting out, so it tells you that it's going to be an escort quest, and you're like, oh shit. And of course they take a weird circuitous route around nowhere in particular.
And then sometimes behemoths spawn where you're supposed to go.
We can do
Well,
this.
I guess we're going to have to murder a behemoth then.
Life is a journey.
So, as with pretty much every behemoth ever, this is a two-stage fight. For the first bit, honestly, the biggest source of stagger is just parrying him. Although you can get the job done with thunder spells. And then at about half health, he'll stand up, he'll get permanent regen, and then he'll start doing real damage.
Though it did look like he was unable to do anything while he was staggered, which is a nice touch.
Occasionally you can get them without doing their second form, but you gotta be really good and really quick about it.
Yeah, like in the other Final Fantasies 13, you can murder them before they transform, and this guy didn't even seem to recover that much health when he did it.
No, he only got about 10,000 health back. But yeah, ironically, this is actually way easier because you can stagger the standing behemoth just by blocking him. You don't even have to parry.
Yeah. So yeah, behemoths in this game, fun. A bit more fun than in other 13s on account of the whole thing where, you know,
You're actually controlling yourself?
yeah, the health drain is actually a bit of a threat on you. Sheep. Sheep. Okay.
Yeah, you actually have to talk to them.
This looks a lot like an egg. It can't
I don't
belong to the
think
sheep.
this is how sheep
What do you
work.
have there? Is it an egg?
What are you doing out here? I told you to wait for me in Arius.
I couldn't just loiter around the village, twiddling my
Dog.
thumbs and waiting for
Dog,
you.
are you...
You could have been
The
killed.
dog is very happy.
But now that you're here, you might as well take a look at this. I found it in one of the sheep's nests. What do you make of it?
You did? Are you sure it was a sheep's nest? Let me see. Gracious! Could it be? This is incredible. I do believe you have found the first verified fuzzy sheep egg.
A sheep egg? You're joking. I mean, that's impossible. Sheep don't lay eggs.
Oh, I assure you it's entirely possible. As a scientist, I can tell you that many kinds of animals lay eggs, not
As a
just birds and
scientist,
reptiles.
huh?
For example, monotremes are mammals that lay eggs. Although I admit they
Ah,
are
yes, the
something
fuzzy
in
sheep,
common.
a distant relative of the
It's all clear
platypus.
now. That's why
And the
sheep return to
echidna.
the same place every night. They have to sit on their nests and incubate the eggs through the cold night.
These are the sheep's
How
nesting
how
holes.
can this not be commonly known?
It's the greatest biological discovery of the century.
Like, this
Here,
this
let
is...
me have the egg. I
The
shall
game would
guard
have
it
us
with my
believe that this
life.
is an animal that
If I
is
keep the lamb
farmed
alive,
and domesticated.
if a lamb hatches from it, it will be the
How-
final imprint
how
of
can
life,
this be a
true
discovery?
discovery. The decades of
I
work
think
and
that Cornelia
self-sacrifice
is just
that last
insane.
born fruit. Thank you for everything.
I'm gonna go a different route and just say that Cornelia is a moron.
Either way,
I got nothing. Let's get the fuck out of here and never speak of this again.
I'm going to forget it immediately.
I wish I could forget it immediately.
Forget what?
I don't know. I just felt like there was something. Oh well, what idiot's next for our help?
Well, let's take
Oh,
a quick
no.
trip. Yeah.
Oh no.
Fed's favorite place in the world.
Oh well, actually, this could have been worse.
Yeah, this could be worse. This is a pretty tame.
Yeah, I thought we were going to the other village in these woods.
Everything. Now I'll finally be able to do my
Oh, rest assured, we are.
Words
Oh,
can't
no.
express just how much this means to me. Truly. But I want to say thank you anyway.
So there you go, dying woman. We brought you a mushroom that doesn't actually exist.
And she gave us a suspicious mushroom and a toxic mushroom in
That was
return.
your last task, to make this medicine.
Yes, I want to give it to someone, but I'll have to be extra careful with this brew.
See, it expires in 20 minutes.
That's right. Don't
45,
bother
actually.
wasting all of my hard work.
I'll take
Oh well,
that
yeah,
as
that was
encouragement, I guess.
the joke
I'll
was,
bet
you
every
know.
last bit of pride I have
Eye
in the
drops,
apothecary on
Ocarina.
this.
Yeah, well... Again, that's not a joke, though. That legitimately is the thing. Like, once you get the medicine, it actually does expire in, like, 45 minutes.
I guess at this point we should make some kind of nod to the recently discovered use of forest water in Wind Waker.
If I had.
Oh yeah, that was an interesting little discovery.
And it's in both versions and doesn't seem to be a glitch, so you know.
You can
That's
just
great.
chalk it
Those
up
are
to
those are useful qualities.
the long series tradition of bottle shenanigans. Like, bottle dueling with Ganondorf.
Yeah, that was literally the thing that I was about to bring up. Guy, did you just take a step right close to our face?
Tell me, will you help out our young hunters and be a model for them?
A model?
Well, we already helped a guy literally cheat at his village initiation exam, so, you know,
Still wet behind the ears. They don't know
morally we've got a great
it's
standing here.
truly powerful monster. You can show them and give them something to strive for.
Yes, here's what you can strive for, and you will never get here because you're not literally powered by God.
They don't know that.
Why not?
I knew you would agree.
So to prove your worth, go and murder some more trash mobs.
For the likes of you.
Sure. Let's do it.
And Lightning is fully down with it for some reason.
She gets to murder trash mobs.
She does that anyway. You can tell this by virtue of the fact that we already have all of the loot in question.
Think of it as preparation. The next challenge will
Oh,
be a
but this
full
one,
test.
this is a true test.
Your
I doubt
preparation
that.
will be the Protoflorian. An innocuous name, perhaps, but this is one flower whose
Oh hey,
petals
wasn't that the
deliver
boss
deadly
from,
blows.
like, the forest in Final Fantasy 13-1?
Where many
It
a
was.
hunter have fallen victim
And
to its
you get 3 guesses to how this particular enemy is gonna be fought.
much for you alone.
I'm gonna guess identically. I'm gonna guess it's gonna shuffle up its elemental resistance on a whim, and we're going to have to respond in kind. I cannot believe I remember that.
Ran amok in the game. Somehow it survived until now. Of course. I've fought it before. We knew it as the acid.
Oh, for God's sake, we're even...
Hoping I fought.
Oh God, it's actually deliberate.
Have you come to take me to the heavens, Kupo? Is this the end for me, Kupo?
I've come for you, all right, but trust me, this isn't the end of anything.
Oh good, I need something to cheer me up.
Will you turn me into a star?
I'll get you home faster than you think.
Oh come on, it's like went straight through the tree canopy. That's just wrong.
To be fair, I don't think there's anywhere in the forest you would actually get a clear shot of them, like, going straight into the sky.
Well, that's clearly a failure of the environmental artist then, isn't it? This is like part of game design. It's like you get the quest guys say, hey, we want to have lightning throw Moogles into the sky, and then the environment guys are like, oh, but there's like full tree canopy. But like, okay, so tell us where you want the throws to happen, and we'll just, you know, contrive some nice skylights in there. It's like there's a couple different times in The Witness where the laser boxes turn on and they fire lasers at the mountain. And it's like, hang on, it goes through the trees, but then you look at the path of the laser and they've literally made it so that it finds the tiny stupid gap in the trees and fires directly through it the whole way to the environment design. Even if you're not going quite to the insane lengths that The Witness does, it's not hard.
Anyway, speaking of the environment, this is technically a spoiler. This is the next area we're going to for plot, but
I don't see how that constitutes a spoiler.
yeah, this is where we need to go to find the Protoflorian, though. So, yeah, whatever.
And it's technically a random but highly weighted encounter.
Also, this goddamn monkey will not leave me the fuck alone. So,
Start a stampede.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to tell it not to do that.
Oh, the Hanumans.
so yeah, the small shitty monkeys. This is just a big version of them.
These guys are really irritating.
Yeah, they absorb electricity, they're weak to wind, and otherwise they are completely unremarkable.
I'm walking fate's path.
I don't know, the charge looks noteworthy. Like, surely? I mean, evidently it's gonna die first, but... Oh, there we go. Well, that was anticlimactic.
The 1000 volts is just basically attempting to hit themselves with thunder to heal them and give them a boost.
That's kind of interesting.
If you're lucky, you can get a Thunder Blitz drop from them, but I did not, so whatever.
Gets a lot more likely on the later days. Oh, there's our contrived motherfucker. And of course it gets the boss music. Well, boss music, you know what I mean.
I mean, it is technically a bossy encounter.
It's a mini-boss at best.
It's also literally still called Asta Protoflorian.
It sure is.
So I don't know what the guy before was trying to imply that it's a different thing, but you know.
But yeah, the only notable difference between this and the 13 encounter is that he actually gets a different buff every time he changes his element. And if you are so inclined, you can dispel that.
Which, yeah, seems sensible.
Yeah, it's most useful on the electric variant because that gives him haste. But otherwise, you know, it's just kind of there.
Oh yeah, there's some uses for certain enemy buffs with a couple of later abilities that I'm sure we're going to get to talk about because they'll be great when we get them. But yeah, let's just say that towards the end game we get the ability to do some things with some buffs. But in the meantime, we are literally recycling a boss, so that's nice.
And we're basically just sort of smashing through it without any.
It's nice that we've got the Chocobo to help.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't fight those guys solo. That is a bad idea.
Can you fight them solo? I mean, don't you need the Chocobo to get here?
You do, but if you get far enough away from your Chocobo, he won't join you in battle.
And it is possible to fight them solo, but it is not fun.
Yeah. Well, the whole point of the Chocobo is that eventually this area starts introducing enemies that do a lot of elemental stuff, and it's really good.
Can that monster be truly dead? Such a day I never expected to see. I stand before you all.
You're a little bit late to be wowed by the murder of one of those things, like 1,000 years
I
late.
did not doubt you. That is why I asked you, after all. You have lifted a shadow that darkened the wildlands for many years.
Right.
Ah, yes, the area of the wildlands that nobody goes to.
That talk about being a
Because it's
robot
heretic
for
country.
hunters was just a ploy to get me to tidy up a problem.
I mean, it is
I will
completely,
deny it. By
you know,
destroying the menace, you killed 2 birds with
just
1 stone. I had
scraplands.
intended to assist you in the quest.
All
However, by the
scrub.
time I was ready, you
Oh,
had already
right,
moved.
yeah. You were
By the way,
totally
those
gonna help
feats
us.
served my original purpose. The young hunters cannot stop talking about you. Indeed, I too have been inspired to take my bow into the hinterlands in search of fresh game.
just not now.
Yeah, well.
Yeah,
don't do
you
anything
call those
stupid.
things game.
Look after the
I
other
mean,
hunters
it's
who
a
got killed.
giant living flower. I don't know how much meat you're gonna get off of that.
Can achieve. They don't need me to
You know,
come.
maybe it's
Perhaps
just
none of us can grow as
tastes like
powerful as you,
cabbage.
But as long as you inspire us, we need not fear death nor any beast that prowls the wildlands.
That seems irresponsible. Oh boy.
Alright, so let's go grab that last Moogle.
This means we're gonna have to go talk to the village again soon, doesn't it?
What do you mean have to?
Found you. You're one of the lost Moogles, aren't you?
It's true. I want to go home, but I don't know the way, Kupo.
Didn't think they could make the Moogle voice even more annoying, but here we are.
Easily enough.
Oh, they will always find a way.
Treetops, Kupo? What a splendiferous plan, Kupo. Except I'm afraid of heights, Kupo.
Oh, we've got a solution to that.
It's all right. I'll give you a hand.
It's called aversion therapy. See, now there was like, come on, a little bit up and to the right.
They were so close.
And yet so far.
Just a little bit of effort, guys. Like, come on. Oh well.
Well, they spawned right on you. That was rude.
Yeah. Yeah, they literally spawned, like, right in front of me as I was walking into the village. That was quite rude. I mean, they were trash mobs that I killed in, like, a minute, but that doesn't change the principle of the matter.
And all the Moogles that we rescued just, like, chill out here, endlessly saying Kupo over and over again.
Way home, thanks to the savior, Kupo. You three caused a lot of trouble. Where did you go and why, Kupo? Kupo! Don't you recall? 4 of us went into the woods that day. Yes, Kupo, but then suddenly it's all...
Also, are all of the Moogles here wearing different DLC costumes from 13.2?
Yes, Kupo.
Yes.
The honey. I smelled it on the breeze, and
So they didn't even go to the trouble of inventing new models.
Kupo, 10 long days, Kupo, but you never came back.
So it turns out this whole thing is actually his
Where
problem.
to? Did you find the honey?
They were looking for a thing, and he went looking for honey and forgot to tell them to come back.
What happened?
Good work.
The trees, and I fled back to my village, Kupo. The fright...
I was not expecting to dislike him more.
It was my fault they were lost, Kupo.
Is that Kreese Summers?
Well, it sure was.
Almighty Savior,
I
I'm so
wouldn't know.
sorry, Kupo, for all the trouble I've caused. I suppose I must be punished, Kupo.
That can be arranged.
Maybe.
Yes, punished. We can do that.
Just apologize to your 3 friends here, and then make sure it doesn't happen again.
If it does, I will cut you down where you stand.
You're gonna have to find him. From high up in the sky where I throw you. Got it?
I like this plan.
Hi, Kupo. Have mercy, Kupo. I'll not let my brothers go astray again, Kupo. I'll watch them with eagle eyes, Kupo.
I guess that was a satisfactory conclusion?
I don't see how it's satisfactory given how much more Moogling we had to listen to. Oh well, at least we got a cool accessory out of it.